Hi there, it's Brett Hornby here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel here, and I'm going to get back into making personal vlogs here, and this is the part of my channel where I open up the forum and talk about anything that's on my mind or cover current events or whatever. So anything's possible here. You can find that playlist on my channel here, as well as all my other sports content and scenery videos, musical entertainment, moments at sporting events. It's all right there. So if that interests you, just make sure you hit like, subscribe. I'm, the big Calgary sports fan here. But this is personal vlog number 15. And I figure here we are in the final days leading up to Christmas here. Personal vlog number 15, I'll talk about Christmas as an adult in 2018. My disclaimer here is that I'm single, happily single. I don't have my own family, no spouse and kids, so I'm giving it from my perspective on how I feel about Christmas as an adult in 2018. I mean, we all remember Christmas as a kid here, growing up, knowing you get your toys or you're hoping to get what you're hoping to get, I also grew up in an era where before online shopping, and now that Sears in Canada is no longer around and is starting to be not relevant in the US south of us, but you fantasize and look in the catalog and say, Mom, Dad, Mommy, Daddy, Grandma, Grandpa, I want this, I want that. I mean, that was all part of the excitement, and you get time off from school. And I also remember, growing up, that last week before you shut it down for Christmas or winter break here, is that you got to sing Christmas carols. This was before, I was in elementary school. I mean, junior high and high school was always the cram about getting as much done, and then you have to worry about midterms and exams in January there, which I'm not too sure if that's, I'd rather you have that done before Christmas so you can actually have a break, but that was then, as a kid. You can maybe relate to it, or not too sure, depending how old you are watching this now, what Christmas is like now. If you were, let's say 15 and under, now, I mean, this is my personal experience, but as an adult here, it's all changed, and I almost feel like in some way I look forward to Christmas for the wrong reasons. I mean, now as an adult here, you got work, career, responsibilities, and relationships with your family changes. I mean, also the fact that now I've lost both of my grandfathers here within the last couple of years, and let's try to get some visits in, but now it's like I look more forward to Christmas more to have time off from work, because it's just, which will lead probably into my next personal vlog about you're just so tired at this time of year. I mean, all the stuff you got to do, trying to get as much done before Christmas. I mean, I work in the engineering and planning industry, and it seems to happen every year that there's always that mad dash to get as much done before the new year. The client's not going to, a lot of the time the client's not going to look at it till middle January there, but I mean, I also, another disclaimer here is that I used to work in retail, and I also used to work security, where I had to be in said retail environment at Christmas time, and this has kind of maybe ruined my perspective on, ruined a few things with Christmas forever. But I mean, I used to be on that side of the table at retail. I mean, it's all the hustle bustle, everyone trying to get their purchases in, and you work every day straight for like almost 2 months there on top of school and college, and those were my crummy jobs I did while I was going to college. And this was before the time of $15 minimum wage, and I hear it's easier to get student loans now, but back then, even 10, 15 years ago, you were judged on how much your parents make, even though I'm the one that's going to school here and isn't making too much money. But I mean, it's all that hustle bustle of everyone trying to get their purchases in, and how commercialized it's gotten, and all the extra work you got to do on top of trying to maintain your grades. And then in college, I did my finals before Christmas, and then you try to give yourself extra time to study for the exams so you get best you can before you can be selling during Christmas. But then you work right up until Christmas Eve, 6 o'clock, and trying to get people out of the store here. It's like, well, come on, let's go here. People work retail, have families too, but you get so exhausted that you just want to go home and sleep, because you got to work on Boxing Day and you got to get up stupid early, and the whole thing repeats again here. But then the other part of it is that when you work retail, I mean, me personally, being a sports fan, and I don't want to make it sound like everything revolves around the Grey Cup, but I always find that I don't feel or start even thinking about Christmas till after the Grey Cup, because it happens the last week in November, and even then that's still a month out here. But then you should get all these stores trying to get all their stuff out right after Easter. But we're still humble and proud of. You can see my personal vlog number 11 about Remembrance Day, that if you absolutely have to, if it freaking kills you, wait till November 12th at least to put all your Christmas stuff out, so that our veterans can get our spotlight. But that's the thing, that's usually around the time when Christmas carols start playing, when you're at the retail store and you hear the same thing over and over and over and over again, up until Christmas Eve, where you're about to have a breakdown. And that's the only relief you get with Boxing Day, with all the madness to the crowd. It's, hooray, I get to listen to regular music again. But I mean, there's still some good parts of Christmas. I mean, you get some seasonal treats, and I guess you can say you see some members of your family again. But then I seem to find, especially in my family, that it just becomes the same soap opera over and over again, that I personally just don't have time for soap operas and drama anymore, especially in this stage of my life. If I love soap operas and drama, you'll be hearing and reading more about me taking time off from work to stay at home and watch daytime TV, as opposed to drive thousands of kilometers to go see the mountains, prairies, or catch a football game on the road. So, I mean, that's Christmas as an adult in 2018. But, also the other thing when you come to adult is all that stuff you want as a kid. I mean, as you get older, I mean, I'm at the stage where I'm wanting to get rid of stuff and rather, experience things. I mean, now with digital media, social media, I mean, I like, recording things or taking pictures and that, just to preserve that memory and, have it digitally archived. And, going back to grandparents, I mean, it's a generational thing, and I'm glad my parents are trying to be proactive now. Is that, when my grandparents were ready to move out into a assisted living facility, they had too much stuff in their house, and mom and dad had to take care of all that while they were moving them. And I'm glad they're thinking that we don't want to burden myself and my sister with that if they ever get in that situation, because I'm not going to have time to do all that stuff. I'll be, if it was up to me, it'd be in the assisted living facility, and I'll be calling that company to auction it off. And I mean, I just won't have time. I just get too busy. And it's a one-man band operation when you're single, but you're happily single. Has its perks, but has its drawbacks too. But that's all I feel about coming back here with Christmas. I mean, it's worth keeping traditions alive, and sometimes, some years, I might get to have a chance to enjoy the decorations, the season, the food, or the carols. But I don't think I will this year, just because of it's always that mad dash, and I always look more forward to having the time off to catch up with sleep and that, and that's just my personal take about Christmas as an adult. Now in 2018, and I'm a Christian Orthodox myself, and I'm gonna try to open up this can of worms here, but everyone seems to have to be too politically correct here. But how I call it is, I call it Christmas gift, Christmas dinner, Christmas carols, Christmas tree, Christmas ornaments, Christmas whatever. But then when I call the whole time, the whole week or so, like, I call that the holiday season, because I call it the holiday season because you try to be inclusive to everything that happens that time of year. Plus you got New Year's, so I call it Christmas. I say Christian Orthodox, and I live in a Christian, predominantly Christian society here in Calgary, which is in Canada, and Alberta, and we're all proud of that. So that's basically Christmas as an adult now in 2018 from this guy's point of view. That some things remain the same, but there's other things that you're like, the break is a lot more important now. You really don't need the stuff as much. You can maybe see each other, and then you get reminded why we don't see each other as much as you'd used to, because we're all busy with our own lives here. So anyway, that's why I don't want to ramble on too long here on this personal vlog, but if you're watching, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and stay safe out there, and do what you guys do for Christmas. I'm not judging. Everyone has their own way to do it, and as long as it's safe and legal and doesn't affect anyone else's lives when they take it in, do what you do. But anyway, that's personal vlog number 15. Christmas as an adult here. As I always say, I'll see you in the next video.